Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. My name is Andrea Finstuen, and I'm the Dean of the Honors College. I'm the Associate Vice President for Strategic Planning and the Executive Director of the Institute for Advancing American Values at Boise State. And I collected those titles because I'm aspiring to be a top 10 scholar. And I don't think I'm going to get there as you hear the bios of these students that are fantastic and wonderful and the work that they've done. So on behalf of the colleges, on behalf of the university, on behalf of the Boise State University Alumni Association, welcome to the 41st Annual Top 10 Scholars Awards. And we're excited to welcome back many former Top 10 scholars and their honored faculty members. But today we're about honoring the 2023 award winners who are joining this wonderful legacy of 41 years. For those present, of course, again, thank you for being here. And for those of us joining online through live stream, hello, and thank you for tuning in. As I mentioned, the Alumni Association began the tradition of recognizing the top students at Boise State 41 years ago. That means this evening will mark 410 scholars. That's 410 powerful brains. That's 410 model students who engaged in the life of the mind and the life of their communities with excellence. All of those 410 including tonight's top 10, have gone through a rigorous process of selection. And you'll find those notes in the interior of your program. But in short, they have to have a 3.8 cumulative GPA or higher. And then you see the list. It's breadth of coursework. It's research. It's creative works and publications. It's presentations at professional meetings, honors and awards, extracurricular and campus service. The students apply to their college deans. If they're eligible, they apply to the college deans, and the college committees then nominate. They go through a process of selection that nominate a set of students to the university level committee. And then the university level committee selects the final 10. Once the student's selected, that's what the evening is about. Each scholar chooses a faculty or a staff member who has inspired them during their time at Boise State. So we're also honoring these terrific educators today, and they have the pleasure of introducing the students that they so inspired. To our honorees, as you find continued success on your next journey, please remember to stay engaged with your alma mater. As members of the class of 2023, you are a member of the Broncos of the Last Decade Alumni Group. Regardless of where you reside, please do be sure and stay connected and learn about the events for alumni happening around you and of interest to you. In short, once a Bronco, always a Bronco. And this community is here to support you and celebrate your successes from here forward. And we can't wait to see what great things are in store for you as we watch you progress in your careers and your endeavors. So congratulations again. And before we hear from the outstanding students and their mentors, I'd like to introduce the 7th president of Boise State University. Dr. Marlene Tromp is committed to supporting students and faculty and staff, serving and advancing the state of Idaho, and helping the university foster research excellence to increase discovery for its students and for the world. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Marlene Tromp to the podium.
Good evening. I'm so happy to be here tonight. This is the best time of year. Because at this time of year, we get to see the extraordinary accomplishments of our students. We get to celebrate their success. And this event is for many people their favorite event. I had people come up to me when I took this job and say, wait till you go to the top 10 scholars program. Just wait. You'll never be more proud of your university than that day. And every year that has been true. Because we graduate thousands of, more than 5,000 every year, and there are only 10 who are invited to this special event and who receive this special honor. It means that the students you're going to meet tonight are the best of the best. These are students who've accomplished incredible things and done so while earning the respect of their peers, of their faculty, of the administration, because they have done so in ways that have dazzled. We are proud of every single student that graduates from Boise State University, but there is something exceptionally special about this event and about these students. We are so proud of you, and we are proud of what you do for us, because these are the young people who go out in the world and make Broncos proud. So thank you for being here tonight for this exceptional event. Thank you to our exceptional students, and congratulations.
Thank you, President Trump. So let's get started. As you noted from my comments earlier, the faculty mentor, staff mentor will introduce their student and then follow the student comments. So we'll start with Dr. Ike Satichi. Please come to the podium and kick us off. 41st top 10.
All right. Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Ike Satichi, and thank you for the introduction, Andrew. I'm a faculty of robotics and control in the mechanical engineering and mechanical and biomedical engineering department here at Boise State. It is my honor to introduce my top 10 scholar, Juliana Buzzard, whom I have had the pleasure of instructing and mentoring in multiple courses and research projects over the last 3 years. The first time I came to meet Juliana was when she took the then required mechanical engineering course, kinematics and machine dynamics. I've also had the pleasure of instructing her in the mechatronics course the following year. During her junior and senior years, Juliana has made significant contributions to several research projects that we run in my robot control lab, along with her fellow talented peers, including but not limited to Gavin Hamilton and Chris Dagger. In addition to her exemplary work in the lab, she has been acing the coursework with ease, all the while juggling multiple additional responsibilities in the mechanical engineering club. Since she graduated, she has moved on to work with a close collaborator of our labs, Pitch Aeronautics, as a mechanical engineer. Pitch is an amazing local robotics company that is in its infancy, but with a lot of potential. Run by a former F-15 pilot, Dr. Zach Adams, Pitch is developing the drone technology to perform robotic manipulation tasks that are otherwise very dangerously performed by humans. Such tasks include diagnosing cracks in structures using thermography, installing dynamic line rating sensors on power lines that will enable power companies to produce and distribute power much more efficiently than the state of the art. Now, Juliana has been instrumental in designing and manufacturing a much improved version of the drone that can support twice the payroll and fly with much improved stability. If Pitch Aeronautics keeps employing students of Juliana's caliber from the mechanical engineering department, I'm afraid that my luck in hiring excellent graduate students with interest in robotics and control is soon going to run dry. Juliana, it has been my deepest honor to being a part of your academic and professional journey so far. I've always relished discussing my mathematics trivia questions with students who are interested, and you were also a top student in that avenue. I am proud of you and the work that you have put together during your academic studies and in Pitch Aeronautics. I'm sure that your excellent work will continue to be extremely valuable for the nation and for the world. Congratulations on this much-deserved top 10 Scholar Award.
Thank you, Dr. Satichi, for that wonderful introduction. In early 2018, I did not plan for post-high school. I was certain that I would not be attending college because I didn't want to waste my money on a degree I would not use. Now, this was an interesting decision considering that I was planning on taking my senior year math classes here at Boise State. Despite the advice given to me by several teachers saying that I should pursue engineering due to my keen understanding of math and science, I refused to even consider it because in my experience, that career was reserved for really smart guys. However, through the pushing of several mentors, I reluctantly agreed to at least look into engineering. During an event that I attended at Boise State, I had the opportunity to listen to a presentation by Dr. Krishna Bakala and spoke with him afterwards. This presentation and conversation was truly inspiring and changed my view on engineering. Through his encouragement and the encouragement of other individuals, I was confident that pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering at Boise State would be the best path forward for me to begin my journey towards a fulfilling career. This decision was one of the best decisions I've ever made, as Boise State was a wonderful community where I was able to thrive and learn with the support of incredible peers and professors. Thank you, Dr. Pacala, for being the first of many individuals to positively impact my time at Boise State. From the time I walked into my first class to the time I walked into my last, I met several outstanding professors. My honored faculty member, Dr. Aikut Satichi, was one of those individuals. Dr. Satichi, thank you so much for always pushing me to my limits, but also genuinely caring about me and my learning. I remember in the fall of 2021 going into Dr. Satichi's kinematics class and being told by everyone above me that this would be the class that seriously dropped my GPA. I absolutely dreaded class for the first week or so because I was so intimidated by the content. But then one day something just clicked and I realized that while the content was hard, it was actually really fun and perfectly explained so many of my unanswered questions from prior classes. I was still a little bit nervous, but Dr. Satichi pushed me to believe that I could master the content. I can recall several instances where he would email me or set up Zoom meetings late at night or over the weekend to help in my confusion. His excitement and willingness to help me learn made kinematics the best class I took from Boise State, from being my most feared class. Not only that, but Dr. Satichi gave me the opportunity to work in his robotics control lab, and I was able to learn so much from the master's and PhD students there. When I took Dr. Satichi's mechatronics course last fall, I was so excited to have him as a professor again. However, I think what really made that time special was the way that he demonstrated his care not just for my learning, but for me as a person. During this time, I had experienced a bit of a health crisis, and he was consistently asking how I was doing and if there was anything he could do to help me. Even after I graduated in December, when I saw Dr. Satichi at an event in March, he took the time to chat with me and check in and see how I was doing. Dr. Satichi was one of many professors who truly cared for me and my learning, as opposed to just caring about me being a number in their classrooms. And this support is what has shaped me into the person and engineer I am today. To Dr. Satichi, Dr. Otanikar, and Professor Hagemeyer, thank you all so much for caring about me in and out of the classroom, but also giving me the opportunity to have hands-on learning working beside you as a researcher or a peer educator. To Dr. Lujan, Dr. Pacala, Professor Haight, Dr. Smith, and Professor Howe, thank you all for providing me with the tools that I needed to step confidently into my future. To Lynn Olson, I am so grateful for your mentorship, and I would not have been able to graduate early from such a difficult program without your guidance. To Dean Leidy and Dr. Garza, thank you so much for showing me what it looks like to be successful women in STEM and for allowing me to work alongside you on projects to impact future Boise State engineering students. To my parents, thank you for always having my back and for pushing me to reach my dreams. I appreciate how excited you get when I talk about school or work, even though I'm aware that some of the time you don't know what I'm talking about. To my sister Jacinda, thank you so much for always being my biggest supporter and never allowing me to drop out no matter how hard the classes got. To my brothers Jeremiah, Jason, Jaron, and sister Jesslyn, thank you all for helping me live a little and experience life outside of academics. To Gavin, thank you for being the absolute best friend and study partner I could have asked for. I can say with 100% certainty that I would not have finished college and been where I am today without you and your unfailing support. To Matt, Faith, Oliver, and Chris, thank you all for studying with me and being wonderful friends who have provided me with the best memories along this crazy journey. To all of my family and friends who are here today, thank you for giving me the support system that I needed to fulfill my dreams. To the Boise State Alumni Association and Honors College, thank you so much for selecting me for this award. It is truly an honor. As I continue in this next chapter of my life, working as a mechanical engineer for a drone company that is legitimately accomplishing things that have never been done before, I hope to make Boise State proud and show the world exactly what a Bronco can do. Thank you.
Thank you for the honor of being here tonight. My name is Lisa Beamer, and I am a clinical associate professor in the College of Education. But my job here tonight is to introduce you to Claire Connor. Claire Connor is the single most influential and impactful student that I had the honor of teaching in my 12 years here at Boise State. She is an inquisitive student, one who stands out above the rest in her dedication to the content and her pursuit of excellence in her future profession. She is an ambitious researcher, one whose work is meticulous, thoughtful, and always focused on the good of others. And she is a caring leader, one who excites others towards a cause through genuine passion and service. And while her academic research and leadership accomplishments are to be applauded and recognized, what I now want to do is introduce you to the person of Claire Connor, who she is beyond the books and behind the accomplishments. Claire is a daughter, a friend, an ally in times of need, an advocate for families experiencing disability. She is a joyful presence, a fierce protector of hearts, and a sincere soul. I have never known another person at Claire's stage of life to care more deeply and more sincerely for those around her. It is impossible to leave Claire's presence without feeling more loved and appreciated from your interactions. You may have actually interacted with Claire yourself, left thinking there's something different about her. That is because, most importantly, Claire is a child of God. We cannot speak about Claire as a person without speaking about her faith. She's able to persevere in her academic pursuits because she is empowered by the creative creator who created her for those pursuits. She is able to care for those around her because she knows what it is to be seen and deeply adored by a loving God. She is able to love others well because she herself experiences the purest form of love from her Heavenly Father. Who Claire is as a person enables her to be who she is as a student, researcher, and leader, not the other way around. And all of this because she is so firmly grounded in her identity in Christ and Christ alone. Claire has made me a better advisor, a better teacher, and a better person. And the impact she has on peers and professors around her is no different. Claire inspires us to be the best version of ourselves, more joyful, more grateful, kinder, gentler, more compassionate, and more loving. I believe a few lines from Claire's favorite book, the Bible, best encapsulate who Claire is. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. So Claire, never change, but always keep growing. Stay firm, love first, and always keep your eyes up.
Thank you, Lisa. That was so kind. So I originally found Boise State because my older sister was at colleges her junior year of high school. And as a freshman, I heard her talk about scholarships and honors colleges, and I wanted to be petty. I found Boise State and decided to keep inserting Boise State facts in every conversation to keep the attention back on me. I am a younger sibling. Fortunately, Boise State stayed as my top choice, and the past 4 years here have shaped me into a researcher, teacher, and a lifelong learner. Thank you, Boise State Honors College, for fostering community and academic excellence. I immediately felt at home after our orientation, which gave me security to take leadership positions my freshman year. Thank you, College of Education, for being my home base. After trying all the things freshman year, I decided to consistently say yes to the teacher education ambassadors, researching and supporting younger students. My professors fostered a love for early education, skill-based learning, and advocacy for our profession. I learned to advocate to my fellow students that urban and special education is an academically stimulating field to enter. I learned to advocate to my fellow educators that students with disabilities must be considered and fully included. And I learned that I will have to advocate at a systemic level that educators receive adequate training and pay. Lisa, I can seriously say that you are the reason for 90% of my resume. Thank you for creating a semester-long plan so I could engage in independent research. Thank you for challenging me to write a full literature review, even when I really did not want to. Thank you for guiding me through applications to conferences and funding streams so I could present nationally. Thank you for sending me any opportunity you thought I might be interested in while modeling and respecting my boundaries. Most importantly, thank you for reminding me that there is no way to sever my faith from who I am. All your students, and especially the special education cohort that I'm part of, there's 13 of us, woohoo! You led us through student teaching this semester, and we all have noticed the way that you see each individual student. You clearly live out biblical convictions to love sacrificially, conveying to other people that they don't have to earn your good favor. They're already seen and valuable. I've been honored to watch your example for the past 4 years and hope to give similar care to each student that I have. Mom and Dad, thank you for being my biggest cheerleaders. Rachel, thank you. She's eating. Thank you for putting up with me every time I booed that you went to the University of Oregon. I'm now officially a hypocrite. While our parents never compare us, you remain the most impressive Connor sister. Of course, you're on your way to get your doctorate. Kristen and Alexa, thank you for being true friends. You remind me to say yes to the good things. No, just kidding. Say no to the good things to say yes to the best things. Crew, formerly known as Campus Crusade for Christ, taught me more than I could hope. I learned how to ask questions to wrestle with my faith. I learned how to ask others good questions to actually learn about their lives. And I learned that most everyone is pretty interested in talking about spiritual things. Aylin and Abby, thank you for being my friends and my favorite people to lead. You made discipleship the highlight of the semester. I'm so grateful that I'm confident to walk in my future workplace, bringing my full personality, vision, and faith. And thank you to the Boise State community for giving me endless reasons to answer my friends back at home when they say, "Why did you move to Idaho?" Well, I first chose Boise State because the financial support and the newly renovated Honors College, it has shaped me into a high-quality educator and citizen. I moved back to Oregon, better equipped to serve my community, more confident in my search of truth, and extremely proud to be a Bronco. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Amanda Hicks, and I'm here to introduce 2023 Top 10 Scholar Brianna Ellison. I'm so pleased that Bree has been recognized with this honor, not just because of her scholarly work and her service and leadership, but because Bree is hands down one of the coolest women on this campus. And I'm going to take my 3 minutes today to tell you why. In song. Not really. But like Bree herself, my manner of communication shall be ethereal, romantic, dreamy, gossamer, poetic, and above all, wholly original. Because that is what you are, Brianna. B is for brains, of which you have a lot. R is for research excellence. That's why you're Scholar Top. I is for interdisciplinary, the major chosen by you. A for Ada County Coroner's Office, your internship that would make others go, ooh. N is for national champion in many speech events. N is for national champion in multiple debate formats. A is for awesome. A is for adored. A is for anguish, because you won't be my student anymore. All of the top 10 scholars here tonight were chosen because they made their time at Boise State count and forever have impacted our campus community. Bree has a list of accomplishments that illuminate how she made her time and her collaboration with faculty count, but I want to draw attention to the way she has forever impacted this campus as the 2022-2023 president of the Boise State Talkin' Broncos, our national championship speech and debate program. Dr. Eugene Chafee, the first president of Boise Junior College, founded the college's debate team in 1937. Dr. Chafee considered speech and debate so important to campus life and the quality of education at the institution that he volunteered as the team's coach during its inaugural season. Dr. Trump. Bree, you led this elite 86-year-old campus institution so beautifully this year. And you didn't do it by babysitting or by overextending yourself or your emotional labor. And you certainly didn't do it by creating dependency, which is how a lot of young people lead. You did it by being so smart and so sophisticated and so hardworking and so absolutely enchanting that you made people want to be like you, which inherently means you made people want to be better. You learned that the core of transformative leadership is doing things in your own singular way. Most people never get to learn that. So give them a hand out there as you join the big bad world. And please walk this earth every day knowing that Amanda Hicks thinks that you are a queen. Honored guests, I present Bri Ellison.
Although I'm finishing up my college education here at Boise State, I didn't begin it here. Fresh out of high school, I was determined to pave my own way in the world, and of course, I thought that meant getting out of Idaho. Unfortunately, I was blinded to the opportunities that Boise State was prepared to offer me, and my first year in college was one spent disengaged from my education. Unsure how to reestablish my love for academia, I transferred to Boise State, hoping that being closer to friends and family would make it easier. It was the best decision I've ever made, because not only did I find that supportive family and friend connection, but I would find a network of supportive faculty and peers to propel me forward to reach my greatest potential. Time and time again, I am impressed and inspired by the students around me. My time here is filled with memories of cramming for tests, filling whiteboards with overly elaborate diagrams at the library, going to research conferences where I found myself surrounded by individuals who truly care about the impact that they are having on the world, and criminal justice internships working alongside peers to bring truth, justice, and closure to the struggle in a time of need. And above all else, spending time with my teammates on the Talking Bronco speech and debate team, which is some of the most intelligent and empathetic people I have ever met. Me, State is not just this campus, its courses, or the education it's provided me, but rather, Boise State is each and every person who has made their way through this institution. From the faculty who have all believed best in me, to the administration that helped me create a very unique degree plan. I'm getting sick of explaining what interdisciplinary is to people. To the students whose wonder for the world never ceases. I see the colors blue and orange shining in each and every one of you, and the wondrous things you have done to impact who I am today. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Amanda Hicks. As my coach, Amanda has supported me both in my speech and debate objectives, as well as in my personal and academic life. A great coach is someone who knows what you're capable of and is willing to stick by you as you strive to achieve it. Amanda has always seen me for what I can become and has provided me with the opportunities, guidance, and support to become it. The first time I met with her as a freshman interested in joining Boise State's team, she told me plainly that if I worked hard and was willing to learn, I could become a successful competitor and leader, and windows of opportunity would open here for me at Boise State. I trusted her guidance, and over the years, she has helped me grow into the person I am today. Her advice, hard work, and above all else, advocacy for her students has built a path that led me to the spot. And of course, I wouldn't be here without my family. I was homeschooled until high school, and my parents have always been incredibly involved in my educational journey. Their examples and support showed me that there's beauty and wonder in education. When I was a child, my mom turned the entire world into a campus. Every day was a field trip as we explored the complexities of life around us, from endless days reading and writing in the sun to projects that most ended up with my sister and I getting messy in some way or another. My dad tutored me through high school and into college, offering patience and kindness, even after my endless rants about how much I hated biology. His patience paid off as I eventually, and perhaps begrudgingly found a love for bio and ended up being involved in biomedical research at Boise State, which I would never have gotten the chance to do without his endless support through every biology class I've ever taken. He taught me ways of understanding the world and looking at concepts in a way that crafted the way I tackle every opportunity and discipline I strive to achieve and excel in. My parents have always expected the best of me, both in academic endeavors and personal growth. They crafted a very positive environment and attitude towards learning that helped me develop an amazing work ethic without sacrificing my mental health, personal relationships, or extracurricular activities. My siblings will forever be my best friends and confidants, and much of who I am today, I am because I want to be a good example for them, of someone who is not only academically successful, but who is driven, kind, and above all else, authentic. Graduating from this institution is a bittersweet moment. In some ways, it feels like I'm on the edge of a cliff, excited and nervous, but ready to open my wings and fly. While I don't have my entire life planned down to the moment, I know the values and lessons Boise State taught me over the past 4 years have prepared me to go to any height. I'm excited to move outside of Idaho, this time adequately prepared with the confidence and education to help me grow in new places, and build a path for myself in the criminal investigative field. I plan to build upon my field experience over the next year while looking into grad programs, and hopefully prepare myself for a career in the U.S. intelligence community. As I think about my future, my heart is bursting with curiosity and compassion, traits that I will always associate with Boise State and the individuals who work here, and which I cannot wait to share with others. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Faloja. I'm a professor of physics, and my accent is Romanian. It is with great pleasure and honor to introduce one of our top 10 scholars, Gia Finn. This incredibly gifted young woman started her academic journey at Boise State University in 2018 when she was only 13. At that time, I was calling her Gigi. When she came to Boise State, she had a clear vision of what she wanted to explore, and it was a lot: math, physics, and music. The problem was that she liked all of them, so she pursued all the majors. To make it harder, she also decided to do research in physics, and this is how we started working together. I can attest that everything she did across disciplines is outstanding. Taking 240 college credits in 5 years did not deter her. She became even more motivated, enjoyed what she did at full extent, and maintained a perfect GPA of 4. I have nothing to do with her outstanding performance in music. Her incredible piano recitals were a result of her hard work and her mentors from the music department. All I could do was sit and marvel at her virtuosity and wonder how it would be to see the world as a scientist and as an artist. As a physicist, I know that the work produced cannot exceed the energy input. I have no clue where she found all that energy to excel at her many undertakings. Pursuing 3 majors, writing novels, engaging in leadership and public speaking, performing research, being nominated as a Goldwater Scholar, getting awards after awards for science and music, publishing scientific articles, tutoring, supervising, and mentoring students in my research group, teaching physics classes, and having me as a supervisor are not easy tasks for anyone. Nevertheless, she seemingly defied the laws of physics and demonstrated that the work you can do may be greater than the energy you have. She has grown into a hardworking young woman and now goes Gia. She's one of Bosie's brand ambassadors, ready to graduate at 17 and is off to pursue a PhD in physics at Harvard University. I heard this is a good school, right? Gia, I am grateful that you gave me the opportunity to work with you and learn from you. I am sure we'll soon hear of other great things you are going to be part of. This will make us even prouder because we know that all of it started with you being a Bronco. Thank you for reminding me so many times why I wanted to become a teacher.
Like lots of radically accelerated learners, my path towards Boise State was pretty atypical. I'm actually getting my first ever diploma today. I'm an elementary school dropout. I walked out of second grade and never fully returned to the public school system. This means going into Boise State, my credentials were pretty spotty. I had no high school diploma, no GED, a non-comprehensive scattering of classes at over 8 different schools, a few mostly non-academic honors, and a lot of piano competitions. Also, I was 12, which didn't exactly speak to my maturity. But despite this, Boise State didn't see me as a misfit or a liability. They saw me as an opportunity to offer an unusual student the education she deserved, and to open up their student body to a wider range of learners. And in doing so, they took a risk. Over the last 5 years, I've gained experience in physical problem solving, biophysics research, and concert performance. If there's one thing I've learned during that time, it's not holding back. It's attacking problems with new approaches, starting unfamiliar projects and learning as I go, playing the most difficult songs because even failure could only make me stronger. It's pushing past popular narratives of gifted kid burnout to show that this is really where I belong. Boise State really does embody that ideal in its research, in its academics, and in its community engagement. That's what led them to take a risk on me and to offer me a place in an interdisciplinary, innovating space. Through my experience at Boise State, I grew to appreciate and learn those ideals, to always pursue what I was passionate about, to strive to accomplish my goals, and to always work to make things better. As graduates, you can carry that Boise State experience onto your futures. We are hard workers, creative thinkers, collaborators, and risk takers, because it's in that space, after you leave behind the fear of failure, where innovation happens. I've been honored to have the opportunity to study at Boise State, and I am so grateful for all the kindness and recognition I've received. I'd like to take a few moments to thank all the people who supported me throughout my academic career. My research mentor, Dr. Daniel Faloja, played an absolutely invaluable role in my Boise State experience and that of dozens of other students. What tells work has extended beyond the lab and into the realms of academics, networking, applications, community building, and unconditional kindness. He was the first person to show me what it means to do science, and I have him to thank for solidifying my commitment to physics. I'd also like to recognize Dr. Del Parkinson, my longtime piano instructor, for his diligence, patience, and virtuosity. I'm so glad we've had the chance to share something we love. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Charles Hanna, who couldn't be here today, but he may be watching over live stream. So hi, Dr. Hanna. His trust in my love of learning is what allowed me to attend Boise State in the first place. So that was an amazing contribution to my experience here. These amazing professors are only a few of the many who have supported me throughout the physics, music, and math departments, as well as the Honors College. Thank you all for welcoming my contributions to this space and for seeing me towards a future in experimental high-energy physics. And finally, thank you to my family for their continual openness to non-traditional education options and for their commitment to seeing me challenged. Boise State administrators took a huge step when they admitted an untested 12-year-old elementary school dropout. But what I've really come to realize through my Boise State experience is that my acceptance was not what made my university experience such a good fit. It was because Boise State respected my voice and acknowledged my hard work. Thank you for letting that voice be heard.
Hello, my name is Casey Kennington, Associate Professor of Computer Science at Boise State University. where I principally do research in natural language processing. I am delighted and honored to introduce my top 10 scholar, Josue Torres Fonseca. I had the opportunity to instruct several classes that Josue took and work with him in a research capacity. I have worked with a lot of wonderful students since I've been at Boise State, but Josue really stands out. And he now has a long list of accomplishments, and it has been such a rewarding experience for me to see him go from someone who wonders if he has what it takes to do great things to someone who thinks, why not me? And really goes for it. Josue has amazing drive, which has led him to publish 2 papers, and he's working on a 3rd one right now, all while being the president of the Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity Clubs, applying for and getting scholarships and fellowships, including Goldwater and RFP, applying for and getting accepted to graduate programs at universities, all while being a full-time student who takes challenging courses. Josue is the kind of student every research faculty dreams of: knowledgeable, hardworking, curious, communicative, and teachable. Not only that, he's well respected in my research group, the clubs that he leads, and by the students more broadly. I've seen him take time to help others even though he's really busy. I'll share one experience that gives a glimpse about who Josue is. At the SIGDAL conference in Edinburgh, UK in 2022, there was a mix-up in the schedule, and Josue, who had prepared to give a 25-minute talk about his research, learned that he actually only had 15 minutes, and he had about an hour to prepare before his talk would start. But he didn't panic. Instead, he took time to go through his slides and shape them into the right amount of time. He gave the presentation in front of a full auditorium of academics, and his talk was amazing. I have many other experiences like that where Josue didn't complain. Instead, he found a path forward. If I had to choose one word to describe Josue, it would be observant. I choose that word because he observes what needs to be done and does it, whether that relates to his classes, helping others, research, planning for the future, taking a break and enjoying life at the moment. Josue, it has been a delight to see your growth. I'm sad to see you leave, but I am excited to see what you will do at the University of Michigan. I look forward to the times we'll cross paths in the future.
That's a lot of you here. Well, nice to meet you all. Throughout high school, I always had high academic aspirations. I worked so hard so that I could go to an out-of-state institution, hoping to experience many new and exciting things when I turned 18. However, when the time came to apply for colleges, my financial situation put things into perspective and made me realize that I wouldn't be able to reach that dream. So, suffice it to say that I never planned on going to the university. And honestly, when I first attended the university, I was indifferent about it. However, over my last 5 years here, I would learn how much Boise University is. And at the end, I am grateful that I ended up attending this great institution. My experience here is embodied by one fateful summer after my sophomore year. After failing to receive software developer internships, I decided, at the recommendation of a BSc faculty member, to apply and participate in a research experience undergraduate internship. From this experience, I fell in love with research, to the point that I had a newfound fire to truly start and pursue my dream of being a scientist. After this experience, I came back to school the fall semester with a newfound appreciation of what BSU had to offer, focusing on the amazing research that has taken place here over the last few years. I found a professor in my department who performed natural language processing research and machine learning research, and contacted him hoping to join his lab. And thankfully, after getting a foundation of natural language processing from his class, I was allowed to join. I also applied and was accepted to the Boise State University McNair Scholars Program, which guided me through the research and graduate school process, hoping to prepare for school and graduate school, or for success in graduate school. These two things led to a snowball effect where I started to excel academically. So, thank you, Dr. Kennington, for giving me a chance. I came to you timid and with very little research experience. My only experience being a failed research project. However, you got to take your class, accepted me into your lab, allowing me to work on my first project with you, and go on to publish my first ever research papers. It's because of your mentorship, and especially helping with navigating applying to graduate school and fellowships, that I'm now able to pursue or plan to pursue a PhD at a top research institution with full funding. To Kate, my Goldwater Scholarship Coordinator, and sorry, Dr. Kennington, but a close second to nominate as my honored faculty for this award. Thank you for helping me believe in myself. I applied for the Goldwater Scholarship hoping to receive it as validation that I succeed as a researcher. However, through many talks with you, while helping me apply for the scholarship, you made me realize that I control how successful I am, and not some scholarship. So even though I did receive the scholarship at the end, I wanted to know that it wasn't the scholarship that helped me feel I could succeed and inspire me to continue my undergraduate research career at the toughest of times. Thank you. To the McNair Scholar Program and at Honors College, thank you for helping me build a path to successfully transition into graduate school. I began research completely lost on how to succeed in academia, but through many McNair Scholar classes, a visit to the University of Maryland McNair Scholars Conference, and the many discussions I had with the amazing McNair staff, I quickly learned how to succeed and make the most of what I have. Furthermore, through the honors classes, I learned how to expand my horizons and build skills in a community, which have allowed me to successfully write research papers and present my ideas and go through a successful college experience. To my parents and my family, thank you for supporting me throughout college. I have experienced many ups and downs throughout these 5 years, but you have acted as my rock, helped me get through tough times. If it wasn't for you guys, the last 5 years would have been harder. You truly have shown me the importance of having a support group and helped me realize that humans are anti-fragile, meaning that with the right support, we tend to grow from diversity rather than grow weaker. I will always love you and adamantly support you as you all have supported me. Finally, to Boise State University, the Alumni Association, and the Honor College, thank you for this award and all the resources and support you have provided me these past 5 years. It truly is surreal to think that I started here feeling indifferent about BSU. This thought seems ridiculous now, as I realize that BSU has provided me with unique opportunities and connected me with amazing individuals, which have allowed me to excel. So as I prepare to pursue a PhD in computer science and pursue my dream of obtaining a career as a scientist and mentoring others, as Dr. Casey Kennington has mentored me, I will always look fondly at my 5 years here at BSU, appreciation of the foundation it provided me. Thank you for everything.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ellen Enderlo. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Geosciences, and it's my privilege to introduce Maddie Gendreau as a top 10 scholar. I've been Maddie's research advisor for the past 2 years. Maddie has really stood out as an exceptional student, not just as her time as a research assistant, but throughout her entire time that she's been at Boise State. She started off in the Honors College, much like many of the other esteemed students that are here today. And that's when she arrived in August of 2019. But then she also was a member of the College of Arts and Sciences Living Learning community during that first time as well. And in spring 2020, in recognition of her academic achievements, her service to the community, and her exceptional poise, hopefully she does not trip fall on her way up here. All right. She was crowned Miss Boise. So yeah, please, Maddie, do not fall. In her sophomore year, Maddie took some of those things that she learned from the Honors College and from the Living Learning community, and she served as an RA in the Sawtooth dorms. So as a resident assistant, she helped students learn how to navigate through struggles at the university, including the pandemic. In spring 2021, Maddie also joined my research group, and admittedly, I really threw her under the bus. I had her start working with a graduating master's student who was extremely unorganized, which I did not realize at the time, and Maddie had to pick up his research and continue that on her own. Eventually, because of Maddie's research contributions, I ended up turning that research into a paper that Maddie co-authored with me. In spring of 2022, her research switched gears, and she began working on the development of a custom method to map rapid changes in glacier speed from satellite images under the supervision of a PhD student in my group, Jukes Liu. In the same semester, Maddie was awarded a prestigious Department of Defense SMART Fellowship based on her outstanding academic performance. As part of her fellowship, Maddie had an internship at the Fairchild Air Force Base in summer of 2022. During her internship, she was trained as the next environmental manager for the group. And basically, it sounds like Maddie just learned how to be the environmental manager for the entire Air Force Base. She will begin doing that job this summer as part of her SMART Fellowship. She also continued her research part-time during the summer while working this full-time job. And that was so that she would have enough data that she would be able to present her research at the 20,000 person American Geophysical Union meeting, which is an international meeting for my field. After coming back to campus in the fall, Maddie set out on a really ambitious senior year. She maintained her 4.0 GPA as a geosciences major and an environmental studies minor, stepped up as a student representative on the university's academic integrity board, and was also the president of the Geosciences Club. She continued to advance her research on glacier speed mapping, and she's going to be writing up a peer-reviewed journal article documenting that research, which is really cutting edge and really leading the field. She's going to start that this summer. And she began working as a teaching assistant for civil engineering. This is all in her last year of college. It's safe to say that Maddie has really emerged as an undergraduate leader in my research group, in the Department of Geosciences, and at the university as a whole. And I cannot wait to hear all of the outstanding things that she ends up doing. Maddie.
All right. Thank you, Ellen, for your kind words. And as Dr. Underland mentioned, I have done a lot during my time at Boise State University. I place a really high value on being active in and giving back to my community, both on campus and in our city. Being able to complete research has been one of the most rewarding parts of my collegiate experience. Before my second year of college, I didn't even know that undergraduate research was a thing. When I was offered the opportunity to begin work, I was ecstatic to jump in, and Dr. Enderlin gave me the time and the space to learn how to code in multiple languages. What was once an unknown opportunity has changed my life entirely. I never planned to seek education beyond a bachelor's degree, but in the coming years, I now look forward to applying for a PhD program in the intersection of environmental health and human health. Thank you, Dr. Enderlin, for providing me with the space, the time, and the resources to learn how to be a researcher, and for expanding my own vision of what my future could look like. I've created so many fond memories during my time as a student. One of my favorites was this past fall when I got to attend the American Geophysical Union Fall Conference and presented my research poster on using a private satellite network to track glacier motion. At one point, I had a scientist come up to me who insisted that it was impossible that I was using this particular satellite network for my research because of issues with the image quality in the region I was studying. And that was my first taste of academic banter, in which I was attempting to prove that my pre-processing made the images usable, and he insisted that that was an impossibility. But it was through these experiences that I came to understand the importance of science communication. Another one of my favorite memories happened just a few weeks ago when I presented my research to the university as a lightning talk speaker for the undergraduate research showcase put on by BSU. Here I had the opportunity to learn how to synthesize large amounts of research into an easily digestible 3-minute presentation. I enjoyed getting up on stage and being able to talk about what I have learned and its significance. On another note, this year, I took over as president of the Geoscience Club, where with the help of club leadership, I helped facilitate 2 free camping trips for students to experience the field of geoscience, with some students being able to camp for the very first time. I also helped develop a monthly Geo Club social schedule to help students at different places in their degree have a place to mingle. Alongside my leadership teammates, we rebuilt this club from having no elected leadership to a fully elected 5-person leadership team that will be taking over this fall, which is an accomplishment I'm so proud of.
While attending Boise State, I have had the opportunity to be not just part of the campus community, but also the Boise community at large. During my third year, I had the opportunity to work with the city of Boise to help facilitate the first annual Youth Climate Summit. Along with several other steering committee members from the city and local high schools, I helped build a day event in which over 100 local students were presented with the opportunity to learn about different forms of climate science, climate activism, and climate-related jobs. It was both exciting and rewarding to help these high school students learn more about what it actually looks like to participate in the field of climate sciences. This week, I will be graduating from college debt-free. During my collegiate career, I've applied for nearly 100 different scholarships and received over 25. This achievement would not have been possible without my mother, who had spent weeks of time devoted to searching for scholarships, writing down due dates and essay topics, and sending me reminders. My success in my collegiate career has not just been a product of my own work, but is the result of the love and support that I have received throughout this journey. Thank you to my family, Mom and Dad. I remember in March of 2020 when I called to say that school was canceled and I needed to be picked up from the dorms. You left me there a week longer than the other students. But you helped me figure out what the next steps were and how I could still finish the school year. You helped me find joy in those long months of isolation, and since then you've answered every call home, every question about how appliances work, and how to use my insurance. Thank you always for providing the guidance that I don't always feel like I need, but that has always been necessary for me to find my way. Thank you to my brother, Jake, for your encouragement and support throughout college. As you transition into a college student yourself, I look forward to seeing you pursue your passions in programming and music, and I know that you will continue to grow and find success in new areas of your life, just as I have here at BSU. To my boyfriend, Graf, over the last 2 years, you and I have faced challenges and enjoyed achievements together. I look forward to the coming years as we continue to grow and work towards our goals together. And finally, to the rest of my family members and friends who are here or watching live this evening, thank you for your endless support. My achievement today would be impossible without the love and kindness you all have shown me throughout my life. Boise State University, thank you for the opportunity to be a student and find and pursue the things that I love. As I move into the next chapter of my life, I will carry with me these experiences and the achievements that I have made here. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jen Fields, and I'm the Assistant Director of Student Involvement and Leadership Center, where I provide advising support to the Student Media Office as one of my responsibilities. For those who might not know, the Student Media Office houses the university's official, editorially independent, student-run newspaper, The Arbiter, where our next top 10 scholar has been involved for most of her college career. It's my honor to introduce Andrea Torres Martinez for this deserving recognition. Andrea's scholarly work lives throughout campus, on Arbiter newsstands, through the younger students she's mentored, and through her involvement in the Honors College. For a student from the Treasure Valley who almost didn't accept admission to Boise State, she's shown her love for the local community through this impactful work. The Honors College was the first area of campus to receive Andrea's positivity and dedication, where she serves as a marketing communications representative to promote her events, which in the middle of a global pandemic and virtual classrooms was essential for student engagement. Andrea also helped mentor Latino students through Project Dream for Tomorrow with OELA, a student organization on campus whose mission it is to support Latino students' preparation for college and establish support networks with them. This program was integral in her decision to attend Boise State, so it was only natural that she gave back. Since the spring of 2021, Andrea has provided a critical service to the campus community by providing relevant, inclusive news stories primarily for our students. She approaches complex and sometimes controversial topics ranging from First Amendment rights to the Idaho State Legislature sessions and connects them to students' lives in meaningful ways. You can see the wheels spinning in Andrea's head as she processes questions and ideas and information presented to her. Her work has been recognized through 5 Idaho Press Club awards, including first place for Serious Feature Article, and this past weekend they just got first place for General Excellence, beating University of Idaho. She served as a staff writer, then the news editor, and most recently this past year as the Arbiter editor-in-chief. In this most recent role, she's been responsible for mentoring 11 student staff members and a class of staff writers, helping them make thoughtful content decisions. When we say the Arbiter is student-run, we truly mean it, and Andrea did that beautifully this past year. Outside of Boise State, Andrea served as a full-time intern for the Idaho Statesman last summer, where she reported on important community issues, such as Idaho farm workers struggling with low wages, the resurgence of hunger in Boise among children, and the impact of the labor shortage on pharmacies and public health organizations. Andrea's passion for journalism isn't going anywhere. After graduation, Andrea will be an intern at the Wall Street Journal in New York City through the Dow Jones News Fund. Andrea, it's been an honor to work with you and witness your journey. You've showcased what it means to take what you've learned in the classroom and put it into practice every day. You've also been a role model to our next group of young journalists, and I know you will continue to inspire so many more. I wish you the best of luck in your next adventure in New York City, and you better come back to tell us all about it. Congratulations.
Everybody who works with me at the Arbiter knows that I'm terrible at bragging about myself, so thank you, Jen, for doing that for me. Like many of you in this room, I have given so many speeches these past 3 years about my personal experiences, goals, and values that I feel that I've exhausted every possible angle that there is to reflect on my life up until this point. I've talked about the challenges of COVID, being a small fish in a big pond, the initial disappointment of ending up in an in-state school, and I was able to turn around that disappointment by making the most of every opportunity. I don't need to boast about my achievements because they're already listed in my bio for this award, which you have in your booklets in front of you, and I could not possibly tell you about all the life-changing experiences and inspirational faculty members that have shaped my education in the short 5 minutes that I have with you. So what is left to talk about? 3 weeks ago, I was invited to speak at an event with current and retired staff of KTVB to celebrate being the first recipient of the new funded journalism scholarship. After I was done giving a particularly lengthy elevator pitch on my achievements and aspirations and announcing my upcoming internship with the Wall Street Journal, I overheard one of the attendees ask another, "Well, what does she do for fun?" All I could say to that was, "Well, that's not something they tell you to put in your elevator pitch." The silence that then proceeded from this question might seem a little disheartening. I might be inclined to feel bad for myself, that I've come to care so much about my work that I can't think of what I like to do instead of work. But why is that a bad thing? It's not that I don't have hobbies or that I don't know how to have fun. The truth is, and this might sound a little cliche, that I've reached a point where my work is what I do for fun. I've always found joy in learning, and more so at Boise State. Not everything about my job and classes are fun, but I can confidently say that there have been more good moments than bad. It's so exciting to know that I can make a living out of what brings me fulfillment. So what do I do for fun? I write, I read, I edit a lot. I pick up the phone and I'm moved to tears by the stories strangers have trusted me to tell. I agonize over the same sentence for hours before it ends up being cut altogether. I triple check spellings by Googling 3-letter words and save the emails and calls I receive from readers who found those words. But you already know all of that. And so all that's really left for me to reflect on is gratitude. Gratitude for my parents, for supporting me in my career choice, for listening to my rants, congratulating me for my achievements, and for modeling what it means to be a good parent and a good leader. Gratitude to my mom especially for sending links of my articles to everyone, and I mean everyone, in the family, and to my dad for staying up until 1 a.m. on days we print the newspaper to make sure I got home safe. Gratitude to my sisters, Aranza and Cassandra, for all the times they did my portion of the chores so I could submit my project by 11:59 and make sure that it was my best work. Thank you for entertaining all of my ideas for drastic life changes when they're ideas. I have to Kelly Andrew, the Arbiter online editor and best co-manager I could have asked for. Thank you for being my #1 hype woman, sharing in my frustrations, ranting with me, and for truly listening to my worries and ideas. Thank you for keeping me company on those late print nights, and for being my partner in crime on the rare occasions where we weren't too tired to pull a little prank or two in the office. Thank you for always bragging about me when I don't. And thank you, Bryden, for taking the brunt of those pranks so gracefully. I also feel nothing but gratitude toward many of my professors and advisors. Scott McIntosh, Carissa Wolf, and all friends, Chris Heyer. Thank you for the occasional extensions on assignments and making me see the student and not just a name on a roster. And of course, the biggest thank you goes to Jen Fields, who is always quick to respond to every panicked message written in all caps and guides me through the trials and tribulations of leading a newsroom at 21. Thank you for helping me realize my strengths and faults, and for teaching me that it's okay to act on my own ideas, and that sometimes the only permission I need is mine. My imposter syndrome has been ruthless this year, but it was clearly no match to your unceasing encouragement. Lastly, there's a bittersweet gratitude for having made it to the end of my time at Boise State. Sweet, because I'm proud of all that I've achieved and I'm ready for what's next. And bitter because of the chapter that is closing. It was never my goal to be in the top 10 of anything. The freshman undeclared version of me, nothing more than find anything I was good at and could enjoy turning into a career. Senior year, me found something better, a new hobby, apparently, and people who helped me be the best at what I do. Congratulations to all the top 10 scholars, and thank you for sharing the stage with me. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trevor Lou, and it's my pleasure to introduce the next top 10 scholar, Ryan Olson. I owe my first meeting with Ryan to a video arcade machine. Last spring, a custom-made arcade machine suddenly popped up in my building, and I inquired about who made it. I was told to talk to Ryan Olson, followed by, he started the Makers Club. He's amazing. Now, I was in the process of hiring undergrads for my lab, and I like the sound of this Ryan guy. He clearly had initiative, creativity, hands-on skill, and he was a 4.0 student because I checked his transcripts. So I sent him an email, scheduled an interview, and 3 things stood out from that interview. 1, Ryan's maturity. Great eye contact, fully present, articulate, confident, and friendly. 2, he was perfect for the job. I need someone to model and build, and he loved modeling and building. 3, I had interviewed him too late. At the end of the interview, he said that he was super interested in the lab job, but he recently interviewed for his dream internship, Radio Flyer in Chicago, and if offered the position, he had to take it. Ugh, I thought. There is no way any rational company that met Ryan would not offer Ryan a job. So I needed an alternate plan. So when he told me 3 days later that he got the internship, bravo, Radio Flyer, and that he'd have to withdraw his application, I was ready, and I sprung my alternate plan by offering to hire him for just the fall and spring. When he quickly said yes, I did lots of fist pumps. The summer passed, and Ryan showed up for his first day in the lab. Now, I needed him to redesign a device, and I estimated the first step would take about 6 weeks. He took 3. Ryan went on to redesign that device, which will be used in the worldwide research community, to have exquisite form and function. My grad students took notice, got him involved in their own projects, and Ryan always delivered a great product ahead of schedule. So how does he do it? Intellect, focus, and good time management all help. But Ryan's secret sauce is that he truly loves to build. Ryan loves to create things, so much so that as a freshman, he collaborated with a friend to start and become the first president of the Makers Club, where students can have an idea and build it, such as an arcade machine. This club, which has enriched his peers and our college, is a perfect reflection of Ryan's creative spirit and is part of his legacy of involvement at Boise State. Because, oh yes, Ryan does like getting involved. I was recently trying to find a time to have a farewell event for Ryan, and I mentioned a Tuesday evening, and Ryan immediately said, that day was no good. I have a co-ed soccer game, and I'm hosting a 100-person glow-in-the-dark capture the flag event. have to choose another day. And this was just one of the many school events that he organized at Boise State. So Ryan doesn't just build things, he builds relationships, he builds communities. So, Ryan is clearly driven, but he's also really kind. He's thoughtful and he's big-hearted. He lifts people up around him and the environment around him. And I'm grateful that I was in his orbit this past year. I'm really awestruck and inspired by what Ryan's accomplished at Boise State. And I have to say, I'm also really proud of Boise State for helping students like Ryan elevate to their dreams. So it's my privilege and honor to introduce top 10 scholar, Ryan Olson.
Thank you very much, Trevor. I really appreciate it. In the end, it's not the year in your life that count, it's life in your years. For the past 4 years, this quote by Abraham Lincoln has been constantly circulating in my mind and has pushed me to accomplish everything I could during my time here at Boise State. Through life, it's more than evident that life is short. And what we do with whatever amount of time God has granted me on this earth is I don't want to skip a beat. With this, I would like to thank Boise State University for making it so easy to cram these past 4 years with as much life as possible. Everything that I have done during my time here at Boise State and all the help that I have received has allowed me to say this next sentence. Once I graduate, I will be moving to Chicago to start my dream job. I'll be working as a prototype shop engineer at Radio Flyer. If Radio Flyer doesn't ring a bell, then just think Little Red Wagon. That's Radio Flyer, and they have been making children's wagons since 1917. Today, they are so much more than that. They make electric bicycles, scooters, children's toys, and even go-karts. As a prototype shop engineer, I will be able to put my 3D modeling, machining, welding, woodworking, and even 3D printing skills to use every single day. I am so thrilled and grateful to have been chosen for this award. I truly realized how much of an honor this award was when I received the email that I got the award and I read all the names of the other people that got the award. I saw the very people that have inspired me throughout the past 4 years that also received this award. Of course, I would like to thank my professors from the College of Engineering. I would like to thank Dr. Krishna Pakala for always having my back and always answering my thousands of questions I had for thermofluids classes. I would like to thank Dr. Akut Satishi because he pushed me more than I've ever been pushed before in his systems modeling and control class and his mechatronics class. Of course, through his rigorous classes, I also felt like I learned the most. Most of all, I would like to thank Dr. Trevor Lujan. I had the pleasure of working in his lab for the past 2 semesters, and let me tell you, he is the most intelligent, compassionate, and genuine person I have ever met. I can't stand up here today without thanking the staff of the Honors College. I am thankful for the fact that since day one, they made Boise State feel like home. When I met them all, I felt not only accepted for who I was, but I felt appreciated. They have helped me both academically and personally in so many ways, and I will forever be grateful. I would also like to especially thank Dr. Shelton Woods for helping me answer some of life's biggest questions. I would also like to thank Brandy Venable for helping me become a better leader and always being there for me whenever I needed a helping hand. More than anything, I would like to thank my family. I would like to thank my father for sharing so many valuable lessons with me over the years and for being the best role model a son could ask for. I would like to thank both my grandma for showing unconditional love and support. I apologize to you both for not calling you every hour of every day that I was in college. I know it was torture for you guys, but know that what got me through college was knowing that I could call either one of you day or night and you would be there. Whether it was to celebrate my successes or just talk through the sad times, know that without your support, I would not be here standing on the stage today. To my sisters, thank you both for just being you. I love you. And while I may be moving to Chicago, know that I always want to be a part of your incredible lives. Once again, thank you so much to Boise State for all the opportunities that you have laid before me. Thank you all for coming out. To my fellow top 10 scholars, I can't wait to see where life takes you. You guys are going to go far. As I mentioned earlier, life is short, but I have no regrets spending the past 4 years of my life as a Bronco and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life as a Bronco. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Krishna Pakala. I'm an assistant professor in mechanical and biomedical engineering. I feel so humbled and honored to introduce the next top 10 scholar, Patricio Brady Science. Being a student, a cadet at Boise State, Brady has been able to successfully develop indispensable skills in leadership, including creativity, teamwork, communication, time management, accountability, adaptability, and more. Brady decided at a young age that he wanted to serve as an officer in the United States military. For years, the pursuit of this goal has motivated him to strive for excellence in everything he does. He always had an inquisitive mind and a strong inclination towards math and science, which ultimately pushed him to study engineering. Good choice. It was not until he had already begun his undergraduate career that he realized the problem-solving skills and the analytic mindset that he would develop as an engineer would also be applicable as an Army officer. Studying engineering as an aspiring military leader has led him to develop a uniquely well-rounded collegiate experience that embodies success in a Boise State Bronco. Personal growth is integral to leadership. Brady worked hard to maximize his opportunities for personal leadership development as an undergraduate student at Boise State by involving himself in organizations and activities outside of academic classes and the formal training environment offered by ROTC. As an undergraduate research assistant building, this is a mouthful, ceramic microelectrical mechanical systems, CMEMS, for vacuum chamber experiments, he honed his skills as a design engineer working in an interdisciplinary team. This experience prepared him to take on a new position as an overhead transmission line design intern with Power Engineers, a local company. Something I learned about Brady, being his follower on Instagram, and from his 99.99999, I think that's enough, percentage feed of full of lifting videos that he developed himself outside of academia and engineering by continuing to involve himself in sports. During his time at Boise State, he continued to compete in the USA powerlifting competition, where he has been a two-time national qualifier and placed 18 nationally at 2021 USA Powerlifting Collegiate Nationals. So today we have so many folks in attendance. We have faculty, we have staff, we have administrators, we have family, we have friends. We all support our students in many ways. And most importantly, the donors who invest in our students. We all work hard to put these students on a platform, but seldom forget to realize that they in turn elevate all of us. They provide us a platform too, where our collective work shines. I want to share with you how impactful they have been in my career so that we continue to double down on that investment. A significant portion of my years and many of our colleagues' years here, especially for me on the tenure track role, occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic. And students like Brady helped me embrace experimentation and growth mindset. Our students showed tremendous resiliency and became more creative and innovative. Brady and his friends inspired me to provide the quality of instruction that our students deserved during the last 4 challenging years, ensuring a strong focus on well-being and development of our students. While we celebrate Brady today for his tremendous past and, of course, future accomplishment, the hidden gem in this is how he has made me a better teacher and a person. Students like Juliana, Ryan, Brady, countless many more may not have signed on the dotted line on my recent tenure and promotion approvals, but have inspired me to pursue even more leadership in service of our students. Please help me welcome Patricio Brady Science to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I know that means a lot to me and the rest of my other cohorts here being recognized. I'm incredibly lucky to have been introduced by Dr. Pacala. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. As you could see from Ryan and Juliana, Dr. Pacala has had a really strong impact throughout the entire campus community. So it's a privilege to have him introduce me today. I would like to continue by thanking Boise State University and the Alumni Association for putting on this incredible event. It's truly an honor to receive this recognition, and I'm humbled to be up here today with my counterparts. If you ask 10 different people what leadership means to them, you'll get 10 completely different answers. And I think that is something that makes the pursuit of being a leader truly special. Everyone's leadership philosophy is based on their own unique set of experiences. I'm grateful for my time as a student at Boise State because it has awarded me a multitude of opportunities and experiences that have shaped the way that I personally view leadership. My time spent as chapter president of Tau Beta Pi, the Engineering Honor Society, has instilled in me that leaders are individuals who constantly strive for and achieve excellence. But Tau Beta Pi has also taught me that with success, one has a greater obligation to be of good character and to work to give back to others. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our chief advisor, Dr. Don Plumley, and I'd like to thank him for urging me to pursue leadership within the organization. And I'd also like to thank him for his mentorship and support throughout the last 2 years. I've spent the last 4 semesters working as an undergraduate research assistant for Dr. Jim Browning and his vacuum electronics group. Yes, you heard that correctly. I, the mechanical engineer who thinks electricity may as well be black magic, have spent 2 years working in electrical engineering research. This has proved to be a really unique challenge and obviously a very valuable learning experience for me. Being part of this interdisciplinary team has taught me that teamwork and communication are essential to being a leader. I would like to thank Dr. Browning as well as Dr. Bhattacharya and the rest of my team for teaching me so much these last 2 years. I'm really going to miss working with them. It's been an honor to be part of such an amazing team. As a cadet in Boise State's Army ROTC program, I've spent the last 4 years being taught Army doctrine about what attributes and competencies make a good leader. But at the end of it all, I have learned more from the actions of my most influential cadre than I ever did in the classroom or during training. Captain Promotable, congratulations on your upcoming promotion. Mike Knight, thank you for showing me the importance of leading by example. Through good times and the worst of times, you were always motivated and ready to tackle any problem that we could throw at you. I will aspire to live up to your example as an Army leader when I accept my commission tomorrow morning. I wouldn't have expected to learn that much about leadership in the engineering classroom when I originally came into college, but I was proven completely wrong by my honored faculty, Dr. Christian Pacala. He has demonstrated a true passion for education and a genuine interest in the success and well-being of all of his students. Thank you so much for always putting in the extra time and effort to help us reach our goals, both inside and outside of the classroom. Congratulations on your tenure and your promotion. You deserve it. These are just a few of the highlights of how my time at Boise State has impacted my philosophy of leadership, and I hope to build on these lessons as I move forward leaving Boise State. There are way too many people who have had an impact on me during my time here to adequately recognize everybody, but I would like to thank all of my peers for not only pushing me, but for also being there for me during all those late night study sessions in the MCMR, and for always responding to the late night, hey, what did you get on this text? I could never have gotten through school without you guys. I have some very special people here to support me today that I haven't mentioned yet. I'd like to thank my mom, Terry, and my grandma, Angie. Thank you guys so much for your constant love and support and for always being there for me in a million different ways, especially all of the papers and emails that I've had you proofread for me. I would also like to thank some of my closest friends, Edward and Benjamin. Thank you so much for being here. No matter how much time passes between us seeing each other, because our schedules never line up, and I always use the excuse that I'm busy. So thank you for being there for me regardless. Thank you to all my other friends and family for your love and support too. There's too many of you to name. And I also would like to recognize Doug Hagmeyer. I want you to know that you're one of the best professors I've ever had. And it was in your class as a sophomore that I really began to grow that passion for engineering that's pushed me through my education. Last and most definitely not least, I want to thank my incredible girlfriend, Kylie. You are amazing. Your hard work and everything that you do and your continued success has been an example to me to always motivate me and push me to be better. Thank you for being there for me every single day and for your constant love and support, because I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caitlyn, and I run the Fellowship Advising Office for the Honors College. Tonight, it's my honor to introduce my top 10 scholar, Caitlyn Basco. I've had the great joy of getting to know Caitlyn through her involvement in the Honors College and as she applied for the nationally competitive Truman Scholarship. From the beginning, my colleagues and I knew that Caitlyn was special. Despite joining Boise State in 2020, at the height of COVID restrictions and student disengagement, Caitlyn went out of her way to connect with us. As a sophomore, she became a peer mentor for incoming students, helping them foster the connections she'd had access to in her first year. She helped lead the Honor Student Association, founded the Commuter Club, and quickly became one of our top honors recruitment specialists. She always asks, "How can I help?" and then follows through without hesitation. Caitlyn's maturity and desire to serve are evident in all that she does. A notable example of this was her work with the Idaho Education Association. Hired full-time as their political organizer when she was just a sophomore, she overhauled their political endorsement process, assembled 13 committees to help draft legislation in support of public education, and she organized the IEA's most successful lobby event to date. All this she did while finishing her undergrad in 3 years and successfully applying to law school. Caitlyn is impressive. Of this, there is no doubt. However, the thing that impresses me most about Caitlyn isn't her list of accomplishments. As a fellowships advisor, I have the privilege of helping students pursue big goals and seeing how they respond both when they win and when they don't. This semester, Caitlyn was named a finalist for the Truman Scholarship, one of the most competitive, prestigious awards out there for students seeking careers in public service. Being named a finalist is a big deal. It places her among some of the top students in the country. But by this point, you may be realizing there's no fairy tale ending to this story. Truman chose a different student for the state of Idaho this year. So over the past few weeks, I've gotten to see who Caitlyn is in the face of deep disappointment, and that person is so impressive. You can learn a lot about someone in how they navigate loss. Do they settle into the bitterness of thwarted expectation, or do they take time to grieve but then seek out and embrace all the joy that exists on this different path? It takes bravery and vulnerability to choose the latter, but Caitlyn has. She is still actively choosing it. There's a quote that a mentor of mine often shares from a mentor of his. "If you're not good enough without awards, you'll never be good enough with them." Caitlyn, over and over, you have shown that you are more than good enough, Truman or not. I know you're going to excel in law school, you're going to do great things, and you are going to experience so much joy because that's who you are and that's what you give to the world. I am so proud of you and so excited to see what comes next. Congratulations.
Imagine a room full of anxious freshmen, upperclassmen, on staff and faculty, an uproar of laughter and cheers. All over a student on stage, wiggling their ears. I didn't mean to make that rhyme. It was an absolutely pure, chaotic, wonderful display of the community I have had the privilege of participating in here at Boise State. There are moments throughout college where I remember pausing and telling myself, remember this. The feeling, the sounds, the people. My first Honors College Welcome Program as a peer mentor was one of them. Pausing helps me hold on to memories during the hustle and bustle of life. My freshman year, I became a fellow with a local nonprofit organization, and in the semester of my second year, I accepted a full-time position with them. I began working 35 to 40 hours a week, attending classes on my lunch breaks or after work, and at one point, I was working, attending classes, or joining and taking part in 9 different campus activities. Being involved in so many things allowed me to realize where my passions lie. When I began my fellowship, I had little to no knowledge of Idaho statute. Now, I not only understand prominent areas of Idaho Education Code, but also have worked with legislators to create new statutes that will hopefully change lives. The first time I testified in front of the Senate Education Committee, I remember pausing like I had at the Honors Welcome Program and thinking, remember this. My work with the IEA opened my eyes to the importance of understanding the law when drafting and interpreting legal code. It also offered a real-world lens through which I could apply the lessons I learned daily in my political science classes. Between the IEA and these classes, my love for law was kindled. I found the ability to see others' perspectives and use them to passionately advocate for what was right. At the end of my Women in the Law course with Dr. Lori Hossiger, I argued a Title IX case for a 16-year-old rape survivor in front of a mock Supreme Court. Experiencing what litigation feels like before even stepping into a law classroom left me feeling energized. And I thought to myself, this is why I want to pursue a law degree. Remember this. Part of why I want to be an advocate is due to my time at Boise State and those who advocated for me, offering what limited time they had to help me improve myself and achieve my goals. Kate Hitchman is one of those people. Her brilliant mind and natural ability to support and knack for knowing exactly when fellowship writing sessions need pizza are pillars I have relied on during my time here. In my favorite episode of Parks and Recreation, Leslie Knope says, "No one accomplishes anything alone." As I look back at my Boise State experience, I know I owe everything I am to honors faculty and staff, my parents, and my friends. I don't know how to measure all that you have given me, and no thank you could ever be enough, but I'm going to try to thank you anyway. I want to thank George and Linda Brown for their good food and better advice. Thank you for welcoming me into your home over the past 2 years. To my parents, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for instilling in me the importance of education and drive. You made sure that education was always a top priority and encouraged me to strive for excellence in everything I did. I'm truly grateful for everything you've done for me. Finally, to my friends. I imagined I'd find such a loving group of people. Your antics have made hard days easy and easy days amazing. Whether it was sunset barbecues, chilly nights, froyo, or football games, your presence has changed my life for the better, and I can never repay you. As we move through this week, whether in moments with family, celebrating with friends, or saying goodbye to faculty who have become family, I'm sure we will have a million remember this moments. Willing ourselves to remember every detail of the coming days, holding on to the memories for as long as we can, and reflecting on the moments of compassion, community, and achievement that have led us here. Thank you for this honor.
For those of you for whom this is your first Top 10 Scholars event, can you see why this is people's favorite night at this university? I want to charge all of you to do something. I want you to remember those 10 names. Remember those names because these people are going to be people who make their mark on the world. These people are virtuosos. These people are like Heisman Trophy winners. Listening to them and their mentors talk today made me wish that I could know all of them personally and made me so grateful for those that I do. This is Boise State, and we are better for all of you. Thank you. I'll see you at commencement, and congratulations.